The following program is rated TV MAL. It contains strong language and is intended only for mature audiences.
TBS, America's #1 independent television network, presents the following sports exclusive.
You're listening to Basically a Sports Show.
Follow us on Twitter at Basically Sports.
Subscribe to our podcast on iTunes.
And check out every episode of the show at basicallysports.tumblr.com.
Now here's your hosts, Zach,
Greg, Mike.
and this is Andy, and you're listening to Basically a Sports Show.
And here we are, all four of us on time and
Hey.
ready to roll. So there you go. Is it snowing anywhere else, guys? It's snowing a little bit here. I know it's not in California, but it is in Hawaii.
I mean, it was 59 degrees in my car the other day.
Oh man, I'd be out riding my bike in that shit right now.
No snow yet. It's chilly today. The wind, the classic Illinois wind, that when you step out of your home or your vehicle, you go, God damn, and you just hate your life. I think it can be found pretty much anywhere in the Midwest, but that wind was out today, which was fine. But no snow.
The reason I ask is because as we were talking before the show, or texting before the show, it's getting pretty ugly in Buffalo right now for the big matchup between the Death Star and the Buffalo Bills.
I believe what Andy said was that it was going to be a frozen butthole in Buffalo.
Go Bills! I got to keep my pick'em streak alive.
Jesus Christ! Who did the stupid 49ers lose to yesterday? I'm like, God, I can't get one of these right this year. The fucking Seahawks, really?
Adrian Peterson and the Seahawks, yeah.
Well, to be fair, Greg, your game was the Ravens and the Steelers, and you picked the Ravens.
Oh, well, I guess the 49ers screwed me a week prior. I can't even keep track anymore. Well, the Ravens should have won that game. They just didn't.
Yeah, again, Steelers are one of those weird teams that just and the Ravens are a weird team. There's two weird teams, and the Ravens, what are they? They're like 8-3 or something. They have a good record, and they're going to make the playoffs. But I mean, what a terribly unreliable team.
They're probably the worst 8-4 team I've ever seen.
I was going to just bring up you saying that yesterday, Mike. I look at them and I go, how are they doing this?
I don't understand it because the week before where they beat the not the Browns, or was it the Browns? The game
the Browns when Lamar Jackson threw 4 interceptions.
Yeah, Lamar Jackson. All right, in a game throws 4 interceptions, and in
three in the first quarter,
and in the game where he's thrown 4 interceptions, the fucking mooks they have calling the game are going on about how he's revolutionizing the position of quarterback. It's like, maybe wait for a game where he didn't throw 4 INTs before we start breaking that monologue out.
And can I just say, too, my Cleveland Browns, 4 interceptions and you lose? Really?
Who'd they lose to this week?
No, they didn't lose to anybody this week.
Oh, that's right. They're on.
Thank God.
Oh, yeah, that's right. No, they lost to Lamar. Right, yeah.
That's free weekend for me. No Browns. I was like, this is kind of nice, actually. Maybe they should.
Or Packers.
Don't the Browns play the Ravens again on the other side of the
next week.
Bye.
Yep.
That is the weirdest schedule quirk I've ever seen.
No, I think the weirdest one I've seen was the Cowboys playing 2 Thursdays in a row.
So there's a pro wrestling forum that I'm a member of. And I happened to be over there during that Browns-Ravens game, and I saw something that made me smile. Someone on that wrestling forum goes, both of these Browns teams suck. And I was like, that sounded like something you'd only hear on the CCSLC, but here it was out in the wild amongst civilians, and someone else was like, no, I know.
It's escaped the lab. It's gone into the general population.
I should have asked him, were you in phone when you posted this? Just to see.
Have you guys ever had an in phone outside of the?
Yes. No.
So have I. Have I.
It's I've had I'm in phone outside of the boards, and I've had friends of mine who IRL friends who have never visited that forum before, who have sent me Frank Fleming Barstool links, check this guy out. I'm like, you have no idea.
We knew him back when he was just a club act before he started like doing stadium tours and all that.
Yeah,
It's
the hipster Tank fans.
Yeah,
it's like look, Tank's fried chicken hospital act isn't as good as it was back in the day. Now that it's gone mainstream.
Yeah, I've got the original racist Twitter rant on cassette.
I don't want to go too far down the Tank rabbit hole here, but I really believed him when he said that his Twitter account was hacked when he went on that racist rant. But there's always that little part of me that's like, I don't know.
But the thing about it is like that happened before he got famous. So who would just hack some random dude's Twitter?
Right?
Like, I don't know.
Maybe his body was hacked with alcohol or something. When he did that.
Well, but my thing was that of all the nutty things he said, and believe me, they're legion on those boards. I mean, my God, if you people that listen to the show that know of Frank Fleming since he became famous with the incident on the New Jersey transit system, you guys have that's the tip of the iceberg.
You don't even know.
You have no idea.
There was the Met suicide watch.
Oh God, every year.
Yeah.
But
absolute worst.
Yeah, right. I always thought that of all the nutty things he said, politically and otherwise, I thought there's not a racist bone in that guy's body. I don't think. But then, I mean, I've had a Twitter account for a long time now. You guys have had them. Have you ever been hacked?
No.
And we're not talking about now where Tank would be kind of a target for that. We're talking back when he was as big a fucking nobodies as we are right now.
Yeah, like that's the thing. It's like I don't see why anyone would have hacked just some random guy from Jersey's email, like Twitter,
and then what kind of like tweeted almost, other than the racist part, was pretty much on brand for Tank. It was just, I don't know. I'll never understand it. I like to give him the benefit of the doubt because in his heart, buried underneath all that other stuff, there's a decent person in there. But
there's a new phenomenon that occurs now with people with multiple accounts, and the whole thing is that you have one account for your like job or your like image, and then you have another account for like what you really mean and feel and what you like.
Right.
And that one is called I'm sorry, the professional upstanding one is called your main. And so occasionally, like the other day, a prestigious Chicago Bears beat reporter randomly posted some woman's ass. She was on a beach, and he just took a picture and put it on main. And so a lot of people, and he immediately deleted it, but a lot of people were like, you got caught posting that shit on main, huh? Like, it's just I wonder if maybe Frank had a secondary account that's like Frank's racist account.
Like there's the professional Frank Tank account, and then there's the Frank Unhinged account. Unshackled Frank account.
Mike, I gotta be honest, it's kind of hard to tell the difference between those two, really. I don't know what would the distinguishing characteristic be. I guess the racist stuff, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think the main one may have been more of his like character, his like Mets stuff and kind of sports and logos, and his other, like, I think it was more of a caricature type thing, and then the other one was probably more of his like, plugged into the burgeoning 4chan-y type shit that was kind of bubbling.
Obama is a secret Muslim.
Right.
Yeah.
Was born in Kenya. Oh my goodness.
Right.
Just go back over the greatest hits, man. Yeah. We have to do another laundry report someday so we can really get into
I remember, again, like, this is how long I've been there. I remember the aftermath of the 2004 election when George Bush beat John Kerry for re-election. And I remember Frank, being the hardcore conservative that he was, obviously he was happy, but he was saying something like, I was up nervous at the thought of John Kerry. Like, I couldn't sleep. I was so nervous that John Kerry win. I'm like, it's John. And even in 2004, right, when I'm still like a stupid teenager, I'm like, it's John Kerry, man. Like, what's he gonna do? Like, John Kerry is not the harbinger of socialism in America. All right. Like, if John Kerry would have won that election, y'all would have been fine.
Okay, I'm not an election conspiracy theorist, but you'll never convince me. And I got my elections wrong. I was thinking 2000 with Gore. I'm sorry, but I'll just leave it at that. That was not a legitimate election, and fuck anybody who says otherwise. Period.
What, 2000?
Yes.
Oh,
Come on.
Yeah, mess that was. I mean, there's whole.
Yeah, it was totally fucking stolen. Come on.
Yeah, hot garbage that year. Yep.
You guys are probably too young to remember it, but my God, what
I was 13 at the time.
Oh, I'm aware of the pregnant Chad.
The pregnant Chad,
Dimpled Chad.
Dimpled Chad. There was like I remember
Hanging
there was like
Chad.
there was like the news the clip of the clip that like resonated. Anyone outside of Florida, this is the clip that like informed their opinion of Florida. There was like some shot of some local precinct in Florida. They had to like move the ballots back to recount them, right? And so they have the ballots in the back of a pickup truck, and like the tailgate fell down, and all the ballots spilled out. And there's like there's this overweight country sheriff chasing after the spilt ballots, and it's like, there you go. Okay. I
mean, it just I don't know. I don't want to go to. We could do a whole episode on just that election.
Bass revisits the 2000 election.
We really got to go do. We really got to throw like a conspiracy show in here and talk about actual legitimate fucking.
I'm down for that.
I look, and I know that all I'm doing when I say this is I'm fueling the 2020 election stolen stuff. I don't care. If you want to look at evidence versus evidence, which one of these fucking elections was actually stolen, go back and look at 2000. You'll see what it actually looks like. Sorry. Just gonna say. The 2000 election is the election that introduced the term Chad into my lexicon. So, yeah. And I'll also just say this too. Speaking of the 2004 election, then we can move on because we really should. John Kerry left 100,000 fucking votes sitting on the table in Ohio that year, and we were back then we were a huge swing state. And it's like he didn't challenge it. Well, and at the time you were like, you know what? Okay, we can't have this 2 times in a row where we're going to fight it out in the courts and do all that stuff. So I kind of respected the fact that he's like, you know what? For the good of the country, I'm going to move on. But I also think that he may have left enough votes to win the presidency sitting on the table in Ohio. You can look it up. But
the thing about, the only thing I wanted to say about the 2004 election is like, of all the people for like hyper conservative tank to be worried about, like, oh, I was worried about John Kerry. It's like,
yeah.
President John Kerry would have been such a nothing footnote in American history. I think why are you getting mad? Wait, that is a nice avatar.
Zach with the duck's ornament. I assume it's an ornament.
I was trying to find back in the day. The Mighty Ducks, every Christmas they would life was so good under Disney. They sent season ticket holders these Christmas ornaments every year, and this was one of them. But I was trying to find, whenever they had a holiday promotion, they had a logo where it was the Mighty Ducks logo. And instead of the crossed hockey sticks, they changed out the hockey sticks for candy canes and put a Santa hat on the duck logo.
Oh, that is cool. I had to make my screen bigger. I'm on my laptop tonight, so everything's tiny. I couldn't see it. That looks good.
I tried to find that to no avail, but I did find all the old season ticket holder Christmas ornaments, of which we have all of them on a tree at my grandparents' house. And I think this is my favorite one, with him coming through the wreath. There's another one where he's coming where Wild Wing's coming out of a chimney, or he's riding Santa's sleigh. He's riding a reindeer. There's a whole bunch of them. But
I did want to say, gentlemen, that I actually have with me right now. I'm actually eating my dinner as we podcast, and it is a bowl of Totino's pizza rolls.
Excellent. There you go.
And the reason why I decided to do this for this show is this is actually kind of a special show because we've got a lot of I think very special stuff to talk about.
Yeah.
Do we want to just dive into what the fucking Predators did, or?
Yeah,
I just want to point out too, Mike. While you're having Tostinos for dinner, Andy and I are both smoking Luckies. So.
let's go ahead.
We promote the healthy lifestyle here, so basically a sports.
Right, exactly.
So we're definitely it's a logo / jersey intensive day today, and
here we go.
The namely we wanted to discuss this piece of shit, but it's actually immaculate timing because, as you may recall, at the end of last week, we kind of discussed putting together a roundtable hall of shame or something. I can't remember what I called it, but like a collection of the inaugural class of the worst alternate uniforms in the Big Four. And this fucker just out of
dropped on our doorsteps.
Like, I think we all might have had a few in mind, but then god damn, this thing just showed up and it's like, I'm home, baby. I'm home. Number one.
Again,
we all had to bump it. We all had to bump one option from our NHL list off to make.
For those that don't know, if you're listening to this and you can't see it, the Stadium Series this year, the NHL doing 2 outdoor games. The Stadium Series going to be in Nashville. So the Preds and the Lightning both released their jerseys last week. The Lightning, it's a bold stroke, but it's
kind of unforgettable. It's kind of forgettable, but fine. Like it's right, whatever.
It's a crazy design, but kind of forgettable in the world of crazy designs. Nashville put together this thing that it's a navy blue base with a giant yellow stripe across the front. And then in the middle of that yellow stripe, you have the guitar pick logo with the Tennessee 3 stars.
Which I like.
And then the word smash on top of the word Ville with what they call, print house hatch?
Yeah.
Hatch print. It's like that old font you would see on concert posters where the letters were kind of smashed together all over the place. It's again, like I said in the text, there's one thing for being an ugly jersey that's just out there and kind of wild and crazy. This is just plain ass ugly.
I think our friend the Admiral actually put it best, or he said, this uniform has deep hurting, where it's upsetting on a level that you really can't pinpoint. Like, the term I thought of was this jersey was made with wrong science. This, I guess that I might be jumping the gun to our broader discussion, but this is the worst jersey in the history of the NHL. I've gone through NHLuniforms.com to confirm this. This is the worst. I don't care. You can show the turd burger, the fucking the LA Kings 90 was no. This is worse than all of them.
There's so many little things that just jump out every time you see it. Because again, it's not like, oh man, that's a bad logo, or oof, I don't like that striping. It's just fucking ugly. Like, again, the concert print, I get what they're doing. Like, everyone has seen this font before. Like,
sure.
If we're not describing it well audio wise, just go look up
any concert poster,
or just imagine a country music concert poster that has Johnny Cash on it, and there you go. That's the font.
I mean, I've literally got a BB King concert poster hanging in the room I'm sitting in right now that uses that very font.
Dennis is calling it Honky Tonk Sans.
It's like it's where all the letters are kind of different sizes because they've been like squished into the different things to fit on the poster.
See, Mike ruined it not ruined it because it was ruined the minute I saw it, but Mike like threw it even more down when he pointed out that the 22. And it was like the numbers aren't symmetrical. It's like, oh, for fuck's sake, that.
Yeah. The first two is and this isn't a case of it's a fold in the fabric or perspective. Like
that's what I thought it was.
This is straight up. The first two is like skinnier and taller than the second one.
Don't forget the goofy Preds there.
Right. That's in the same font there on the.
And as Andy said, because everything on this jersey is so blown up, like the captaincy is, as you said, Andy, floating in jersey hell. Just
look at this. This is the greatest disgrace is this armpit captain patch. Like for it. I think that it's one of those things to where like discussing like what the Admiral said, the big hurting or great hurting, like
Deep hurting,
yeah, deep like this thing violates so many things and not in a bold like chase the art way.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry,
it's like the Geneva Convention for one.
It's kind right. It's like seeing that a soldier that was mutilated by an illegal artillery or something, to where like it's like whoa, what happened here? These are coming out. These are too big. Oh, these letters are all wrong. Why is this logo in the middle of it? Wait, you have a logo within a logo that's on top of a word mark, and then what the hell's going on with the captain's patch? Why is it here? What happened? And why did this get approved? Nobody knows.
Yeah, like this, and again, a lot of stuff I might be saying about this might sound hyperbolic. I'm going to level if anyone listening to this. I am being totally honest. I am not being hyperbolic at all when I say this is the only hockey jersey, and might be the only jersey, period, that I've ever seen that makes me physically uncomfortable to look at. Because whenever I see this stupid thing, whenever I see the front of it, I get this like really like it's slight, but it's like this slight itchiness or tenseness in my gums, and it's because like I think on some subconscious level I'm associating this mashed up, uneven Smashville font with like a bad like smile, like, and it's like hurting my teeth to look at, and this is the only jersey that I can think of where like I've actually felt some degree of discomfort just by the visual of it. So yeah, this has got to be the worst.
It's called, by the way, it's called Hatch Show Print, I believe, is what the font is called.
So basically, it's a font that the sizes are all different, and is that basically what it boils down to?
Basically,
it's like font with different sizes. That's
a block letter font. And when I say block, it's not like athletic block. I mean like wooden blocks,
right?
That they would use to make the posters. Yeah, I think what you're saying too, Mike, is right, that it's uncomfortable. It's like, when someone just has fucked up teeth.
Yeah, no, exactly. That's exactly what it is.
When they're all kind of like literally smashed together or in different directions, and you're just kind of like, I mean, I'm not trying to be classist and say that everybody should have got braces, but like some people could really use a set of
yes.
board.
You guys watch Family Guy? It's the Steve Buscemi look. Yeah,
right, yeah.
Great actor, but dude could stand for a little dental work.
This is kind of what an example of the inspiration of whatever.
And that's a clean look at it, yeah.
And I'm sure we're going to get to some of these later in our discussion, but like this is worse than stuff like, say, the Wild Wing jersey, right? Where like the Wild Wing jersey is this goofy fucking jersey that objectively it is not good, but it is just this goofy design. Yeah. And it's goofy, and but it's just this
goofy doesn't mean it's bad.
But this is just straight up like, again, no, it's wrong. This jersey was made with wrong science. Like everything about it is wrong. The fact that the fact that the number 22 isn't even symmetrical just makes me think like if this jersey could talk, it would be going like kill me. Like
the 2 throws me off. The thing that just drives me fucking bonkers is how the letters ever so slightly don't fit on the stripe.
Yeah.
Like
why?
I assume they were doing that so it looked like the letters blended in with the background at some point. But the problem is in 3D space, when I can see the stitching, that doesn't work. And I think that's the problem with this whole thing. You look at all these posters. If this was a poster for the game, if they made a game poster that was like, hey, come down to Smashville for the Stadium Series, you'd be like, all right, that's Nashville flair. It looks fine.
Right.
On a flat 2D surface, maybe a fine idea. 3D on a jersey, these giant patches look bad. And beyond even that, just look at the way that the jersey is sitting on the player there. I mean, Mike, you've worn hockey jerseys when you play.
Yeah.
Like it seems like it's a giant rectangle that's making the chest of this player.
Yeah, no. Like this jersey makes me think. It makes me think that this jersey would be very uncomfortable to wear, just because
think about taking a shot in that jersey and like moving your arms across your chest.
Yeah, no, it looks uncomfortable to wear, and which is weird because so much
It's
about
going to look even worse on a person, like a regular fan.
it's going to look worse on a fan. This thing's going to look fucking tacky and obnoxious as hell on a goalie wearing like a goalie's chest protector.
God, right? Yeah.
I'm wearing a jersey with a cutting board under my.
It looks like they're smuggling a box or something. Like it looks like an Olympic jersey where they just put the flag on the front and like they giant thick crest there that just.
Hi, I have stolen an Amazon package off someone's porch.
So
the other thing about the font that just drives me nuts is the how the first S isn't all there.
The little cutoffs there, and the little how the A is. You got this weird triangle of dead space here between the cutoff S and the A. Yeah, it's just garbage. This whole thing is
two questions on this for you guys. First one, the most important one: would it have been better had they gone this route, but instead of trying to do the tack lettering, if they had gone screen print, where they could maybe make it a little more
that was one that was something actually that was thrown on the boards, and the Adidas people got very self-defensive about it.
Well, I don't give a fuck about them.
Would it look better? It would look slightly better, but it'd still be trash.
Yeah,
I agree with that. Second question: when these things go on sale on clearance for like $12, are you going to buy one? I am.
No, hell no.
No, I don't want it. I don't want this in my house. I feel like I'll never be able to like I don't know. It feels like it would make my skin crawl if I knew it was in my closet.
I have to think. I mean, I haven't like polled all the Nashville fan base, but think about it this way: when
social media indicates it's not popular,
right?
Yeah.
Well, when the Ducks put out the Wild Wing jersey again, or when the Coyotes put out the Peyote jersey again, fans looked at that and longingly like, "Oh, that's ugly," but it's our old school ugly, like nostalgia.
Sure.
I don't know.
This ain't it.
I don't think this has the same charm to it that those things do.
Well, no, because those things obviously pulled from a nostalgic atmosphere for the team itself. So if like the Predators wanted to do that, they kind of already recently did with the Robo Panther or the Robo.
Like if the Predators really wanted to do something like it's like, oh, we're gonna bring back an old stupid uniform of ours, like go with the 2001 mustard alternate with the 3D chromed tiger.
Well, the other thing now that I'm looking at it again, the stripe on the chest doesn't even go all the way around the chest.
No, it doesn't. Doesn't even line up the sleeve stripes, actually.
No, I know. That's what I was just saying.
Why would it at this point?
It's like, I assume that they went with this design too because it's similar in base construction at the very least to what they wore for the Winter Classic in Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
Where it was the white jersey with the yellow jersey with the white. Yeah.
This one? Okay.
Yeah, that one. That's what I assumed that they were. That was their starting point, where they thought these were really popular. Let's take that base and do something with it. And here's the thing with that: everyone looked at these, and despite them maybe not liking them all the way, you see that the saber-tooth tiger logo.
Bam! That guy.
Yeah.
Everybody agreed that this was really good, and we hoped that it would show up in something else.
I think that should just be the team's primary. Like. Just go with it.
And yet, instead, we went with this fever dream. It's ugly. It's just ugly as sin. Well, and I think that's the thing that's the most unforgivable part about this. It's not a bold thing. It's not wild. It's not crazy. It's not goofy. It's just fucking ugly.
It is.
Yeah.
So can we?
When I first saw it, I said you can do ugly or you can do stupid, but you can't do both. And they've done both here. It's ugly and it's stupid, and that's unacceptable.
So I assume we can agree. One. No, it's the only reason anyone should buy one is so that somebody else can't buy them, just to like take them out of the market and destroy them. So can we agree that this would be in the like if we're doing top 3 for each of the big four?
Oh, absolutely.
I had to bump the Bruins Winnie the Pooh jerseys off to make room for this one.
Okay.
See,
so
I automatically disqualified this one. Like, it's just as pointless. It kind of kills the whole thing. Because right away, our number one pick in the NHL, we all know what it's going to be. So I just said I'm not even going to use it.
Here's another question to make. I know we didn't really like talk about this beforehand, but because this is a one-off event jersey and not a full season alternate, does this count?
I'm counting. I mean, look, I had that thought too when I was compiling my lists. I ultimately decided it did count when I got to the NBA, and the rules are so fucking insane over there that it's just like, look, if it's worn for a game, it counts. And
because at the very least, we will never see these things ever again.
Oh,
I don't know. I think that we initially have to. I mean, because again, think of this as like the Hall of Fame, to where like as the class gets more, like this year, the 2021 class of just garbage here. This is the inaugural class, but as the years go on, if we find that it's bloated, we can always prune later on and be like, well, we're going to disqualify this run for these reasons and replace them. But I feel like we have to, for now, as the inaugural class into this Hall of Filth, that these should be qualified.
Absolutely,
I think we got to get with alternates that are even one-offs and stuff like that. Christmas uniforms, things like that. I think we have to have those in play.
I think that we should that this thing should be the standard bearer, and that we should name the Hall of Shame after it.
I mean, it can't. I mean, it was released right as we were putting this thing together, so it's
the Smashville Hall of
disgrace.
Sure, all stupid jerseys. This is in for sure. This would be like debating Babe Ruth. It's like, nope, it's in. That's it.
This is a Babe Ruth of shitty jerseys. Okay, so I'm curious to get, because we obviously
Wayne Gretzky of shitty jerseys.
Yeah,
this thing's like that bad.
We're all looking for numbers. So I'm curious what else was on your NHL list. Let's look at the hockey ones out of the way.
Oh, okay.
What are your nominees? What one's stud?
The thing that's so funny is there are so many choices for the NHL.
Yeah.
It's wild how many bad jerseys there are to choose from in the
90s were a wild decade.
Well, I guess. I mean, not even the 90s. I'm thinking I think the 2000s, 2010s alternate jerseys are worse than the wild. Like the 90s ones, because that's when we first got the first alternates, and that's just, let's just try some crazy shit. And it's like, okay, that's kind of fun. But like here, my first nominee to put forth.
Okay, yeah, let's see what you got.
2008, 2011 Atlanta Thrashers.
Yes.
Football.
I had that on my list. Yes, absolutely.
And you're talking about these guys.
I purposely left it off mine because I knew you guys would all take it.
Can we find the picture of Chris Chelios wearing that? Because that's the picture of these things that would have to go into the hall.
Like true, like alternate universe.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I think we all agree that's a unanimous vote, right? That's in.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. Yeah.
This. Yeah. Look at that. Look at that. One of the greatest hockey players of all time, and
at that point he was 708 years old.
Yeah.
I gotta be honest, man. That thing makes some of those, like the ones in the Russians leagues with all the ads on them. I mean, that thing looks like they look understated by comparison.
It's just the logos on the shoulders, the word mark, the numbers, the side panels, the goddamn socks. Look at those socks.
Piping everywhere. The collar's all fucking messy.
This jersey might have been the reason that they moved to Winnipeg. Like the NHL brass was like, look, this is perfect. If they move, we'll rid our league of this stupid jersey. Yeah.
How long until we get the Jets and Blue Bombers inspired alternate that throws back to this?
Oh God.
Okay, so I mean, this is in there. So now there's no doubt this has to be in the first class. It has to be
1,000%. Yes.
So no, I am of the opinion that there is one other alternate that deserves to go into this class. Top three.
Okay.
Interesting.
It is. I don't know if you'll agree.
I really do think there's a lot, but hit us.
I think I'm trying to find a
point of order here. Are we going to just induct everybody that makes it, or are we going to have?
No, we all have to agree on the top three.
Okay.
So I'm trying to find
Now we're going to throw Smashville. Smashville's its own thing, right? It's like the Pantheon. Like we don't even have to worry about that. We know that that's always going to be number one. So, like, does this become our first entry now, or
no? I would say that's not. This should just be the 3, including Nashville. So we have to agree on.
All right.
So my nomination is this piece of shit, the Black Islanders.
Okay.
I'm gonna debate it.
Okay.
I'm gonna debate it, and here's why. All right. I kind of like it.
I'm going to debate it because I think there are far worse out there. So I'm going to vote no on this.
There's something about this uniform where it's like, is this what the Islanders should always wear? No, not at all. But like, I kind of like it as a product of its time, alternate look. I don't know. This is my guilty pleasure. It's
okay.
I like it.
Well, I mean, I think we would all agree it's a bad alternate, but I don't know if it's Hall of Fame worthy.
Okay, that's fair.
It may be in the second class.
Yeah,
it's not first. It's not first ballot.
It's not first ballot.
In 10 years, the Veterans Committee votes it in one of those deals. You know,
sure. Yeah,
it's in the Hall of really bad, but not the Hall of what somebody call it on here, Hall of Lame, which is you know.
It needs to be far more harsh than this lame. So, what are your nominees? Let me give some other nominees here for number 3.
Here, the next one I have, I think, is a special entry. Buffalo Sabres, 2013 to 2015. The yellow on the front, blue on the back.
Oh, jersey. the turd burgers.
I forgot all about those.
I did too. But
what year was that? 2003.
2013 to 2015.
Yeah,
those ones were
yellow on the front, they were blue on the back, and they had the captain's patches on the shoulders.
Oh my god, these are fucking terrible. Oh
yeah.
And when you find it, you need a the front and you need a picture with the back because there are 2 different jerseys depending on which way you look at them.
I forgot all about those. That's a fine call.
Yeah, this is good stuff.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, and again, this doesn't even capture the stupid captain's patches on the shoulders, which were just awful.
Yeah.
These are bad. These are bad. I wouldn't be opposed to bringing these in, but I do have some other ones for consideration.
Trust me, Mike, there's plenty. Let's.
Okay.
Let's put up
that one's up there.
Okay.
This is just like how it happens when they vote for the Pro Football Hall of Fame. And
this is the Veterans Committee.
Yeah.
Okay,
so I need another nomination. This one's very strong, though. This one's damn strong. Like,
yeah, no, this
sickens
is bad. So one of the other ones that I had on my list, 2021 to present, Dallas Stars neon green.
I have that one on my list too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's good. That's good.
It's
go ahead.
Is it more awful than the turd burger? I don't know.
No. Hell
no.
I think that these are the Tom Clancy, whatever. They're dumb, certainly.
The reason I opted for these is because, and I've told this story before, as an illustration that teenagers are stupid, is that when I was in high school, one of my friends, I was on our hockey team, and one of my friends on the team was like, "Oh, we should get neon green alternates," and our school colors were not neon. They weren't even. It wasn't even regular green. So I asked, like, why neon green? He goes, because it would look sick, bro. He actually said that to me.
Again, when these jerseys came out, I was unfazed only because anybody that had played NHL online for over the last 7 years, you've seen this jersey 100 times.
Mm-hmm.
All the dumb teenagers.
I would
made
say
the
it's not great, but I don't know that it's Hall of awful worthy.
Well, I want to ask: is it even the worst Dallas Stars alternate of all time?
No.
There's there's the Muterus. Yeah.
No, well, hold on. Muterus, I think now we're talking something very different here because I feel like it's almost like a special kind of thing to where it's not entirely offensive. It's just a bad idea. Because I mean, like this thing, the green stuff, I put it on the same level as this stupid, where it's just like a 2-color uniform that looks dumb. You know, like
that one made my list too.
This, and as it should, but I feel like they're just kind of stupid, like kids fire emoji, dumb shit. But like to nominate Muterus is very difficult for me. Like I had trouble feeling like it was something that should be on my list. I mean, it's not great looking. Like, look at that.
Andy,
that's pretty shitty.
What are the Dallas Stars team colors?
Not red.
Green, black, white, and silver now, I guess.
Yeah, the answer is not red.
Not red.
I know.
But I can see Andy's point, though. I mean, again,
the logo is a vagina.
Yeah. Well,
yes.
it's an anatomical look at
it's the fallopian tubes in the uterus. Yeah,
it's it is bad, but I mean, from an elements wise, like it's not overdone. Like there's a couple that are like really fucking shitty. Like that Sabres thing is a great example. Well, there's just so much going on that cram all this bullshit onto a jersey, and then you have this where the logo is really dumb. And the red has no business being there whatsoever. But, like, at least it's simple.
That's a fair argument. I can go along with it. I mean, I had it on my list, too, the Muterus. But after seeing what it's up against, I don't know that it makes the cut this year. I just don't.
Well, here's a rapid fire of the other options. And I think they're all kind of from that inaugural class. Burger King jerseys.
Yep, that's the last one I had on my list.
That's on mine. I've got quite a few now. I didn't like rank them because I was like, wait, I got to put this on there.
I would say the Burger King, the Lightning Rainstorm.
I've got that one.
Yeah. And I guess this was a little bit later, but the Preds Mustard Gold double knit.
Okay, I have a question about the Blues trumpet jerseys. Were those ever
never happened?
Never. It was proposed. They were proposed, but apparently the team shot them down.
That's a first ballot right there.
Yeah, Mike Keenan saw them and immediately said no.
What are your thoughts on these? Do these? I don't know if they're. I think they're like this is an example of there's just a lot going on. You have a lot of striping, a lot of piping, gradients.
They're bad, but are they Hall of Fame bad?
If we were going to stick to like actual like third jerseys, alternates, and not like one-offs and stadium series and all that, I'd say we can make a better case for these. But as it stands right now, the competition's just way too fierce.
That Canucks jersey is actually one where it's like if you got rid of the gradient, I think it would be actually pretty good.
All right, I'm gonna throw one in here, and it's believe it or not, the Montreal Canadiens.
Oh, which one?
The 1912-13 barber pole throwbacks.
Oh,
no, those are beautiful.
Though I can't hate those because it's like it's a throwback to a time before anyone knew how to hockey uniforms. So
all right, okay.
Which, by the way, is a problem I had when we got to the NFL. But
like
those fuckers sent me into a seizure when I looked at them.
Honestly, I've seen worse. I've seen way worse.
We've seen a lot worse. That's just one of my nominees.
Oh, and from so this is the Burger King, correct? This guy,
yes,
this horrible fucking thing. Okay, yeah, that is pretty bad.
That's kind of like the updated. I think they wore that for warm-ups to sell them, but yeah.
Yeah, it's basically it. Yeah,
right. There's the picture with Gretzky wearing them. Yeah,
which again is hilarious because it's Wayne Gretzky and they made the greatest hockey player of all time wear that.
God.
Yeah.
All right, I've got one more I want to throw in, guys.
All right.
Yeah.
Tampa Bay, their first alternate, 1996 to 1999. I believe Zach called it the Rainstorm jersey.
Yeah. Again, this is one of those that some people look on it nostalgically because it's just one of those wild, like, what the fuck is this sort of things?
I would say
you got to get with all the lightning.
You picked the picture of Wendell Clark wearing it too. Wendell.
Yeah, it's hard to find a good image.
I would say the Burger King one is the worst 90s one, just
I would
because
agree with that. Yeah,
it's got this as goofy and bad as the Storm Lightning jersey is. It at least has like a basic layout where it's like, okay, it's got the shoulder yoke and it's got something resembling sleeve and waist striping,
and,
but
it's sort of a hem stripe with the waves.
Yeah,
but
you can look at it, and you know who it is right away. Where at the Kings, if you weren't a hockey fan, you'd be like, "What the fuck?"
Well,
I mean, but can you say that these Buffalo Sabres abominations are better than either of these?
No. I would.
No.
I would concede. I would concede the Turd Burger. This
I honestly had forgotten about him too, because I think going into this, I figured, okay, we got Smashville. We were definitely going to get the Thrashers ones, and then one of the '90s jerseys was surely going to be in there. I had forgotten these Buffalo jerseys existed until I was looking it up again, and when I saw it, it immediately hit like, oh no, these can't ever exist again. So.
Mm-hmm.
I think we've reached a consensus on these. I think they're going to go in, guys.
What year was this from again?
2013.
2013. Okay.
Let me see if I have any others on. How about the Oiler RoboSperm? That's not going to beat out that.
No, that's a good one. I think
that's kind of like it's goofy, but in kind of like a fun way. Like, do you remember when they
in the chat? Gary brought up the Black Roadkill Coyote jersey, which is bad, but it's bad. It's boringly bad.
The Black Roadkill Coyotes jersey to me almost kind of seems like a generic jersey you would have just seen if they couldn't get the rights to use the Arizona Coyotes.
And we're talking about this one in the middle here.
It's not very good at all.
It's just kind of boring.
It actually looks better in that graphic than it does in real life.
Yeah.
So it looks like we have our first three then for the inaugural class here.
Yeah.
And are they bad?
Yeah, Nashville with two of the three. Or I'm sorry, they just have number one, the 2021 Smashville Classic, Winter Classic, 2001 Chelios, the picture on next to his tombstone. They have this Thrashers disgrace, and the Superman Cape Buffalo Sabres from 2013.
We'll put together one of those little like cheap. Who's that place that does the free websites? We'll throw together like our little Hall of Fame so people can come look at it.
Yeah, I'm writing them down.
There really are some bad ones.
Oh man, I've got. Well, I mean, just and again, not even in the same league with the three we've put in here, but the Senators 08 to 11. I mean, they're not like they're just fucking stupid. I mean,
the ones that says Sens on the front, that one's bad. The Islanders Lighthouse jersey, not great.
Yeah, but I have a soft spot for like the Fishermen. Like those ones are just like they're almost like
the Fisherman was never an alternate. That was their primary look for a while.
Oh, good point. Okay,
I just wish the Blues had worn those trumpet jerseys just one.
What about the 2013 Calgary alternate, the Western T-shirt or Western button-up look?
You know where this is going to get hard. Very, very difficult was when we do the NBA. Because my God,
that was a trudge. But
I would just like to be able to. I just want to make the first nomination for that. If you guys,
okay, so let's go to the NBA. Let's go ahead.
All right, my first nomination for the whatever we're calling this has to be, and boys, you'll remember this. I'm sure you already know which one I'm going to bring up. Maybe you don't. Let me find my list here. For the NBA, it's got to be right. The Oklahoma City Thunder and their Oklahoma City bombing.
Yes,
right.
I had that on my list.
I don't know. Like in terms of what they are, they shouldn't exist. Right. But in terms of like, is it ugly?
I think that again, this is kind of like the Hall of Fame, though. You got to kind of go, well, is it just the home runs or is it the body of work? And I think the body of work here.
I think body of work, it's a fine nomination, but I think we're going to find a whole treasure trove.
The NBA. The NBA.
I mean, guys, come on now. You know, like, that was the first jersey I thought of.
The Mavericks trash bags are up there. I mean, if we want to just go ahead and go this year, Miami's serial killer uniform.
Oh, the serial killer ransom letters. Yeah.
The
my
Wizards
list,
with the gold jerseys and black shorts.
The Wizard. That was the first one on my list. Actually, was
I forgot about those.
the Washington Wizards 2006 to 2009 gold top black shorts.
Gilbert Arenas era.
The
Wizards, yeah.
The other ones that I had on my list, I have Golden State Warriors 2012-2013 sleeves.
Well, hold on. The sleeve. If we're gonna talk sleeve jerseys, there is no worse sleeve jersey than this piece of shit. This is the worst.
You mean? I think you mean NBA champion caliber jersey.
Can I just make a suggestion?
Sure.
Can we just put sleeves in general in the Hall of Fame?
Well, that's the thing. So I was going to say, because this is going to impact baseball too, because the turn ahead the clock game jerseys are fucking terrible. We should nominate a sleeved representative and have it be representative of that terrible
whole era.
What is the worst sleeved jersey? That's an interesting.
Can't come up with a finer example than the world champion Cavaliers in those jerseys.
To me, there's none worse than this piece of shit.
I agree with that.
I would, to defend my choice, I'd say that the Warriors one is pretty bad because you've got a solid gold shirt and then pinstripes on the pants. But this one is bad because the C looks so awkward just there.
Man,
and
that Warriors one does look bad.
And of course they won their only title in those things because it's Cleveland. So of course they did. Yeah, I think if we're gonna have a sleeve representative, I vote this one. I'm with.
I'm down for that. Yeah,
I think it's a disgrace. This thing, I don't even look at it anymore. Okay, so what?
One is pretty bad too.
Give me some nominations here. I've got the Matt Silver one.
I've got another nomination for you.
Here, I'll find the year.
New York. Okay, this is the present. This is from the present day. New York Knicks. City never sleeps.
I'm right. That's on my list too.
Yeah.
Let's take a look here.
Yeah.
Oh, these are terrible.
Yeah, they are.
We've already got 2 votes on it. Mike and I both had it on our list.
Well, I think we're gonna have a lot of votes for these things. Is the problem?
Look at that! Look at that thing!
It's a rec league uniform.
Yeah,
that's YMCA.
Oh, the Raptor! Hey,
what are your Spurs camo uniforms?
No, that's the Raptors.
Okay,
those are the Raptors.
The Spurs have one too.
Here, if Andy's hand on this, I can go to full screen so I can actually see what's happening here. There we go.
The Raptors. That is actually an accurate representation of the CPAT Canadian Armed Forces.
The Spurs ones I saw were black and silver.
Andy, can you pull up the Sacramento Kings 94-95 alternate?
Oh, is this the 3/4 black?
Yes.
Oh my God, these are terrible. Yeah, hold on. Let me get a good picture here.
Because there's so much going on in these ones.
They wore these?
Do we need to put together like a separate wing for just the NBA? I mean,
no. We need to accept this challenge. We're gonna go. We're gonna nail all of this garbage down to just 3.
So again, to recap on this, it's 3/4 purple, 1/4 black,
right? But
and you have the checkerboard going down the sides.
But it's vertical. The color change is vertical. Yeah, I remember those.
Yeah.
Boy, that's tough to beat right there, guys.
That's on. I'm putting that on the list. That thing is dog shit. That thing is an abomination for sure.
I do have. Oh wait, I do have another one for your consideration.
Okay.
So I'm trying to pull up
while you're doing that, I'll explain that even though the Oklahoma City bombing jersey didn't make it, we are going to have a special exhibit for it.
Okay, here we go. So this brought to us by the Atlanta Hawks in the private chat here.
Yikes! Yeah, that's not great.
I forgot they went with different shorts.
Right.
Wait, no, that has to be wrong.
No, that
They wore like that all the time.
that was what they wore it.
That dude, the look on his face is, I worked so hard to get to the NBA, and look what they made me wear. Look at this
Let's
shit.
see, Andy. Let's try bringing up
Lakers uniform. No.
the 2005 Sacramento Kings gold alternate.
Oh, those were pretty bad too.
They were bad, but I don't know if they were worse than. I mean,
believe they were shiny too.
Yes, they were. You were right, Zach. They are shiny.
But I don't know if that makes them worse than the shiny Dallas Mavericks jerseys.
No, hell no. I mean, these are bad, but the Mavs one is just a disgrace.
I you know what? I'm a sucker for the weird offset stripes, so I don't know. Those are pretty bad.
Like this
trash bags.
I mean, this to me is first ballot right here.
I have one more. I have one more for everyone's consideration.
Okay.
So brought to us all by our friends at the Orlando Magic. You're gonna have to copy that whole link.
Yeah, I got it.
But yeah,
I got to see this.
It's loading up here.
I mean, we could have. You could do what we've done it before, but I mean, if you start with the City Edition, oh wow,
what the hell is that?
It's like a Starfield.
Yeah, it's a Starfield. It's just straight up a Starfield.
All over the shorts and the jersey.
Yeah.
You know what? That's gonna be tough to beat, fellas.
That's pretty rough.
Stupid, right?
And then the last one, just to get a picture of it, so we can compare. Where the year ago, the 2006 Washington Wizards alternate.
Yeah.
Oh, the Gilbert Arenas.
The golden black.
There you go. Okay,
Yeah.
so we've got a fair few. So let's just hold on.
God damn it, NBA! What the hell is wrong with you?
So can we
not
agree?
even getting into the litany of city and association and whatever the fuck jerseys.
No, if we really want, we could probably do a whole 4-episode series just going through bad NBA alternates.
And honestly, I don't know if anyone wants to hear that.
No, but I mean, I was going through it. I'm like, bad NBA alternates. I'm like, oh my god. You know, it was easier. Like the NFL was pretty easy. Hockey was, easier. Baseball was pretty easy. And then I got to the NBA. I'm like, well, I could just pick 3 out of any year from the City Edition, and I'm going to be good to go.
So let's come to it. So are we in agreement that this or the wherever the Cavs one went? Anyway, the sleeved black LeBron Cavs jersey.
Yes, that
will be our representative of the sleeved era.
The sleeves, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So the 1994 Kings first ballot.
Well, let's leave that for a second. The trash bag Mavericks.
Okay.
Is that has to be right?
The trash bag Mavericks, so bad they only wore it once, and this picture really doesn't do it justice. Go back and find footage of that game, and the jerseys, the uniforms at first glance actually look brown because they're reflecting the wood from the court.
Yeah, let me see if I can find a video of it here. Yeah, they're atrocious. There's no doubt. I can't find anyone handy, but I mean, there's some pretty awful.
I think these are worse than the Kings.
Yeah,
I think they're far worse actually.
I mean, it's
is that them?
Yeah, look at that. Look at those.
That's got to be on. We've got to give that serious consideration.
Yeah, no, that's got to go. I think.
Yeah, I think it has to be. Yeah, so that was 2003 or 2004 or something like that. Yeah. Let's call it 2004.
And then it's stiff competition here for this third spot.
So let's eliminate a couple. Let's eliminate a couple. So I would say I would vote to eliminate. I feel like this one's. It's not great, but it's not horrible. It's not the worst thing I've ever seen.
Yeah.
I mean, the jersey actually with some gold pants that might not look half bad. Or if they did that jersey with black instead, it could be okay. Yeah. So we can eliminate that.
Right. Its badness is in its two-toned ability. Yeah.
Right.
Okay. So
honestly, I think it's between the Knicks and the checkerboard Kings.
Yeah,
I think we can get rid of that Kings one. We can get rid of that Magic one. Not great, but interesting.
Yeah, I think it. Yeah, I mean, it could have been worse, I guess. But
are those like the Neil deGrasse Tyson alternates that they were doing that year, or what?
Yeah.
I think we got to really focus on these two. These two are pretty fucking bad.
It's the YMCA or
so my pitch for the City That Never Sleeps uniforms is the gradient in the circular text. That's some rough shit.
And maybe we should consider this too. How far away is it from a really good uniform? Like the Knicks have a pretty solid look when they just go with their basics. I mean, the Kings I don't remember what the Kings look like these days, but maybe we consider that too. Like this is way off brand for the New York Knickerbockers.
Yeah, I think the Kings are pretty okay these days. I think the Knicks, I think they are among the NBA teams that I think they get a little bit more leeway to be weird. Just for like what is it called? The streetwear or whatever. Like I feel like their colors and stuff like are very big in that market. So they get a little more weird. I feel like from just a which one would I rather wear standpoint, I would rather wear this. Just because I feel like a lot of people wouldn't look twice at it because they'd be like, oh, he's just wearing like a workout tank top or something. You know, it's a sort of a whatever looking thing. If somebody saw me wearing this, they probably think I was blind and I didn't know how to dress myself.
or you were like a court jester or something. Yeah.
Right. There's so many bad things mashed into this mess that I feel like it has to be this.
We should go with the Kings. I think so. I think that plus this one's got a longer history. So it was longer. The Knicks could still fuck up even worse. So maybe we hold off on them.
Okay. Well, let's move on. Let's find. So we're going to baseball or football now?
Whichever.
Yeah, I'm good with whichever.
Okay, let's just go
baseball. ahead. I've got a good nominee for right at the top in baseball.
Okay, hit me with your first nomination.
The Pittsburgh Pirates.
Yep.
Heinz ketchup jersey vests.
Yes, that was at the top of my list too.
Those are pretty bad. Yep.
And then I've got one that's off the grid a little bit, but we'll go with these.
Oh, look at oh Jesus.
Fuck me.
Those Pirates vests are the red ones are.
Let's just hold on a second here. Let's not forget these guys. I mean,
are we gonna have to do a case where like the sleeves, we just have to pick one turn ahead the clock representative?
Probably, or do we just omit them, or like what do we do here?
Because I got news. So for the purposes of my exercise, just me, I limited myself to 4 per league, and of my 4 baseball alternates I listed, 3 are turn ahead the clocks.
It was hard.
Can we make like a, how the Hall of Fame has? Well, no, the Hall of Fame has special honorees for like. This could be like the special award given for a single league-wide event goes to.
Yeah, like what we're doing with Oklahoma City and the bombing jerseys. They're going to have a little exhibition. They're not exactly members, but they're going to be there.
We'll make a wing for something like them because there hasn't really been anything like it since, and there wasn't one before.
I do want to run through a few of them though. Just for the sake of talking about them.
Yeah, why not?
Why were the Mariners wearing red? Why did the Kansas City Royals have a weird gold helmet? And why did the New York Mets have a spray-painted visage of Mercury on their jerseys?
Because they were the Mercury Mets. They were going to move to Mercury by this time.
They moved to Mercury by this time, yeah, where they were going to live 8 miles from the sun and try to play baseball.
Look at that.
Hey, let's not forget, in the immortal words of Lights Out, the Diamondbacks had the best MLB uniform of all time.
Yeah, Lights Out thinks that the Diamondbacks turn ahead the clock uniform is the greatest baseball uniform ever conceived, and that's all you need to know about Lights Out. I'm
The
also
one I nominated for this, if you want to take a look, is is the Twins turn ahead the clock.
It's hard to find a damn picture of that.
Now, I will say this. I do want to touch on this just because I think it would be unfair not to. And it pains me to say this because I hate this team. The St. Louis Cardinals had pretty good turn ahead the clock uniforms.
Did they?
Yeah, they did this thing where they made the birds on the baseball bat robots, so they're like robot cardinals.
Okay.
And I don't know, like,
I can't
if
find a
you're
picture of
going
it.
if you're going to commit to such a stupid concept, I thought it was fun.
The poor guy in the Twins jersey here. Same thing. He's like, man, I worked that hard to get to the major leagues.
Here, okay, so here, this is not a game picture, but it is a picture. It's like a graphic. Let me.
Yeah, see, I can't find one of the Cardinals, so feel free to link me.
Okay, yeah,
whenever you
okay. So, let's see. Okay, so here
can.
again, not a game picture, but I think. Oh fuck! Why did that happen? Fuck. All right. I can't computer today. Okay, here you go. There's the link. I think that is a clever execution of the concept.
I mean, compared to the other ones, it's fine,
right.
I guess. Well, okay. So I need to rethink let me look at my other. Okay. Another thing. So I want your thoughts on this. We had a very weird thing that occurred in the last couple of years with Players Weekend, and I felt like these in particular were a team like Angels.
Right. Yeah.
This went all black because we're the players. We want to wear black.
Right. No, it was that particular Players Weekend was every uniform was all black playing against another uniform that was all white.
Right.
And so it was for the players' equipment and personalities to show through against a neutral backdrop.
I remember this. I remember this specifically because it was a rare time we were going to actually see a Yankees-Dodgers regular season game,
right.
And they both rolled out wearing this stupid bullshit when they have two of the most iconic looks in baseball. The Players Weekend shit is pretty rough. If I might propose, the only non-turn head the clock uniform on my list, Boston Red Sox UCLA City jerseys.
You know what's great about that, Mike? I had them listed exactly the same way you did. UCLA City edition jerseys.
Yeah. One, of course, we talked about this when they released. It's the Boston Red Sox wearing like canary yellow and powder blue. What the fuck? Additionally, it was additionally, I put it on there because it's one of the rare times that someone outside of our uniform nerd sphere popped up. I randomly got a text from my dad asking me, why are the Red Sox wearing yellow? And so yeah, that would be my non-turn ahead the clock contribution to this discussion. The UCLA Boston Red Sox.
I have one.
Is that the worst of that thing so far?
It might be rivaled by the White Sox.
The White Sox,
it, South Side?
No, see, I didn't think they were so bad.
I disagree. I feel like, first of all, these ones are stupid, but they're not like, I'm not like offended by them. Like the Pirates one, I mean, if the Pirates came out and wore this, I'd be pissed off because it's like, whoa. You don't need to do this. Why would you do this to yourself? Why would you? Do you want to hurt me with this? This is more of like, hey, we want some money, so we made this bullshit.
That's a good point.
The other one that I other ones off the top of my head, I think that are particularly egregious. Everyone always points to the Mets for the black for black's sake stuff. I would actually recommend the Black Royals alternate if you really want to see a bad.
Oh, that's a good call. Good call.
Yeah,
I had Black Mets on mine, but you're right. The Royals was worse. I have one here that this is actually, like I said, it kind of goes off the board a little bit, but let me find a way to share that real quick.
Yeah, the Black Royals is just.
Take Andy down.
Look at that! Look at that!
That's
look
horrible.
at that shit.
What is it? Is it horrible? Like red vest horrible?
I mean, it's pretty bad because to me, it's another great classic case of black for black's sake. Like the team that is.
Didn't the A's do this too? Didn't they have a black alternate for a while? They did, didn't they?
I don't think they did actually.
I'm pretty sure they did for a little bit. The A's.
They did. It is hideous.
Yeah. Did they?
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go. I mean, that's not a great picture here. Let me this.
Oh, okay.
Like, they wore green sleeves, but they had black uniforms, and
I must have blocked that entirely out of my mind.
I'm going to remove yours, Andy. I've got another nominee here, and this one's, like I said, a little bit off the reservation here with this one, but
guys, yeah, go for it. I have the one that's solving our problem.
Okay.
I don't know how we forgot about these.
Yeah, I had trouble with baseball, so I definitely am looking forward.
I've got one for you guys.
Here,
courtesy of the Arizona Diamondbacks.
Yeah, is it the 2016?
It's the one that I got it's the black with the red gradient on it.
This one
here.
Let me see how that turned out.
What the fuck is that?
This is the is it not? It's not showing the big picture of it, is it? Maybe I shared the wrong. I shared the wrong tab. Hold on a minute. I'll show you here in a second as soon as I figure this out.
You use what I sent, Andy.
Okay. Yeah, these are fucking bad. I'll go ahead and. Do I need to share again? Oh, there you go. You got it. Yeah, those are hideous. I don't.
These are I don't know when they were in Brooklyn when they wore these, but they had these blue satin uniforms.
Yeah.
Which are, you got to call them alternates because they wore gray and white most of the time. I don't know, did they wear these at night games? I don't even know the history behind them, but I know they're awful.
I mean, I would want to know the history if it was, for night away games is what they were for. I'd say that's a nominee because that thing is disgusting. And
what about the White Sox shorts uniforms?
Those weren't alternates, though.
Those were regular.
Oh, those were not all. Okay.
Yeah.
They didn't last very long, but they were regular uniforms for a couple days.
Go ahead and toggle back to my screen real quick, Greg. Zach nominated the 2016 Arizona Diamondbacks. They're weird. I'll see if I can find a better picture. Those things are not good. They kind of they did sort of like this weird correction type thing where they were like, hey, we're going back to being like, these are our colors. We're getting away from the brick and like the weird era of that. But now they went to this, there's a bigger picture. So you can see they went with this one here where it had like the gradients on the shoulder for a few of them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And not good. Not good.
Yeah, I would say those are in the running for sure. I thought of those. I just couldn't find a good shot. I couldn't remember what they were called or what year they were, but I thought of them immediately. See,
they had so many different variations that year as that last image showed you.
Yeah.
But the one I shared with like the teal highlights and the black gradient on the shoulders that's supposed to be like snake skin, that's and then of course I don't know if you can see it in any of the pictures, but the gradient that's on the end of the pant legs.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, I can't find it. But those were questionable decisions at best.
Do I have any other ones that are worthy?
Go ahead
this
if you got some.
This one's from Dennis in the comments. I had forgotten about these myself. 1997 Anaheim Angels, where they were supposed to look like sleeve jerseys. sleeve or vests, but they were just jerseys.
Oh yeah. These were alternates.
These were alternates that year.
I'm assuming he's talking about these, where it was like a fake vest.
Ooh, yeah, those are bad. The periwinkle sleeves are not doing them any favors.
Yeah.
So let's hold on. Like, so basically, what do we agree is number one? Let's just find a number one. Has to be in it.
I would say if we're gonna go number one, Pirates ketchup and mustard.
Ketchup jersey, yeah.
Okay.
For sure.
What year was that from? Do you?
Let me see if I wrote it down.
2000s. It was in the 2000s.
Early 2000s, yeah. I don't remember exact
2008.
Okay.
2008.
Okay. So that's number one. So we can go ahead and agree that's going to be first. Okay. Number two. We have some decisions to make here. Let's go ahead and start with City Edition. Are they going in, or are they going to go? Into that special
I think you're right. Those are just money grabs. They aren't that. You got to be more committed to it than just a money grab.
Yeah. See, that's the thing it was interesting in looking at all the baseball uniforms, because really up until the 90s, there were no alternates, right? Like
the A's, but that was about it. You know?
There were certainly bad uniforms, but they were like full season. So like, because some of these things, they're like, oh, a bad alternate was like when the Pirates did the throwbacks to the 70s, or the Orioles wore all orange. It's like, well, that was just what that team wore. It was a throwback in the 2000s, yeah, but that's just what they wore in the 70s.
I think that there were like 3 teams maybe in the 70s and early 80s that had alternates, and that was the A's. The Astros, I believe, went with the Tequila Sunrises. They also had a white home jersey with just the tequila thing on the stripes on the sleeves, and then the gray roads. So they had 3, and I think the Indians had white, gray, and then they had a blue pullover like alternate jersey that they wore as well, and that's maybe a red one too. I don't remember. But that's about it from back then. Everybody else was pretty much what you saw.
I would say that the Royals, that's like, I think, the epitome of black for black's sake, because I mean, say what you will, the Mets black for black's sake uniforms are bad, but you get the sense that there was maybe some creative vision behind it. Maybe it didn't come out as well as people thought it might, but there was something there. Whereas this Kansas City Royals black jersey, like, to me, the reason why I really dislike this uniform is it represents like the complete bottoming out of the Royals brand. Like, it didn't help that they were god awful while they wore these, but on top of that, it's like they've just traded in everything, and now they're just this generic ass baseball team with stupid black jerseys, and it's just bad. So yeah, I would go for the I'd vote for the Kansas City Royals.
Anyone else? I feel like I personally think these A's ones are way grosser than the Kansas City ones. They're almost equal to the same idea. So basically, I think we should choose which one is worse, because they're both representative of the same.
Let me throw this into the mix. Let me throw that. I want to say, and I could be wrong about this, but I could sort of remember Kansas City actually adding black to their color scheme for that during that period, like as a secondary color.
Yeah, no, they had a version of their logo where they replaced the gold crown of black. Like, yeah, there was like a whole thing.
Did the A's add black to theirs, or is this just a straight up black for black jersey?
The A's at least went all the way and made a black hat.
That's true, they did.
Yeah, well, they didn't go all the way, because they're wearing green sleeves and there's some green elements, but you can't tell they're green that well because
let's call it a tie.
So dark.
Both then. Fuck them.
Here, I'm pulling up the Royals logos.
Co-MVPs like Keith Hernandez and Willie Stargell in 1979.
Well, let's go ahead and have. I'll just let the Royals kind of be the mascot for this.
Yeah,
black for black's sake.
The Royals made an alternate logo that was a roundel, and the roundel itself was black.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go ahead and put them in there. We'll have them be the black for black's sake representative, the wayward Jersey children of the early 2000s, where people were just putting black all over every fucking uniform. black and navy, I guess, was the colors of the day.
They wanted jerseys that would look good with khakis from the Gap.
So number 3, where are we going? Number 3. I feel like we got some tough competition here between.
I'm good. I would go with the satin Dodgers.
Part of me says because it's just awful, but then I think about it and I think that uniforms weren't like they are now back then. So which makes it, I don't know, either a worse decision or just a decision made out of necessity.
Well,
I don't know.
Yeah, that's the thing, is that these were made not for marketing purposes. This was made because for practicality's sake, for the sake of the lighting and trying something new. Whereas like this one was clearly like just Nike marketing trash.
Yeah.
And overly designed. Yeah.
And this one was sort of like a lot of input from Disney trying to make a sports uniform.
I would say
I would go Diamondbacks.
I would go
Diamondbacks. I'm with you. Yep.
I'd vote for Diamondbacks. Yep.
I
think as a collective unit, that might be the worst MLB uniform set of all time.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I would
think
a baseball uniform.
Yeah, that's pretty rough.
That's a lot.
All right, so let me go ahead and finish that. D-backs. Okay, so moving on, we have the final thing, the NFL. I'm curious to see what your guys.
Did we pick a representative for the turn ahead the clock? Or
or are we just gonna put?
We're putting it in as an entire experiment. Yeah,
it's gonna be
the whole thing in because it's gonna be tough to pick the worst one.
Yeah, it's gonna be like a wing. It's gonna be its own wing. I think the same thing that goes for some of these city and all the NBA trash. We'll have to kind of find a different lane for them to go into.
I have a sneaky suspicion that our number 1 on the NFL has got to be the same, right?
I never know.
So my
one question for the NFL that we kind of addressed elsewhere: how do we treat throwbacks?
To me, throwbacks are not really on the same level because, like, I know where you're going with it, Zach. A lot of those early 20th century.
Right, like the Steelers, the Broncos with the vertical socks,
where like
Eagles, blue and yellows.
The reason I give those a pass is the same reason I give like the Canadians like barber pole ones a pass. It's like that's from an era before they knew how to uniform, right? Like that's still like particularly like that Steelers one where it's just the stripes and the city coat of arms. It's like that's practically a rugby shirt. Like it's very like primordial days of the sport.
Well, let me throw this one out because I'm pretty sure we'll all agree on it. The Falcons gradient.
Yes, that was on my list. What a piece of shit this thing is.
I mean, that's got to be a first ballot, no doubter, right?
Look, we covered this when it came out. The stoop, the stoop, I think is what they're calling that stupid stripe down the side. Yeah, that's got to be it. I'm fine voting this thing in right now. Like,
I think that's a no-brainer. That's the Jim Brown of the NFL bad uniforms there.
Keeping up with the gradient theme, I had Jacksonville Jaguars 2013-2017 gold color rush.
Oh,
that have the helmet?
I called them the mustard bottle, but yeah, I'm right there with you, Mike.
But does that include is that the gradient helmet days?
Yes, those are the gradient helmet days.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean that uniform needs to be represented somehow.
Yes. Look at this thing. Look at that. Look at it.
That's for sure, right?
Well, what are your So a couple other ones that were on my list. The Patriots silver alternate, I felt like was pretty bad.
That was on mine too, actually. Well, let's go back for a second. Should Color Rush, like Turn Ahead the Clock, get its own wing?
No, because they wore these multiple times. Like it's kind of like Winter Classic, to where they wore like a lot of teams still wear their Winter Classics at home games, independent of the actual game itself. So I mean, I consider it at that point an alternate. Yeah,
Turn Ahead the Clock was only like they only wore those for those promotional games, but Color Rush Winter Classic, like it may have started out as a promotion, but like they became part of regular rotation pretty quickly.
We saw a lot of teams wear their Color Rushes outside of Thursday night once that started.
So some other ones that I've got New York Jets 2019 to present black.
Yeah, I that's a good nominee.
This one is particularly egregious because I remember when the New York Jets released this uniform set, and the whole set's fucking awful, but we're limiting ourselves to alternates. And I remember when this set was released, the Jets had the temerity to sell Joe Namath black alternate jerseys on their website. Like,
Fuck you. Like,
Right?
fuck you. It's
who
so
the
stupid.
fuck bought those? Like I want to know who would
Lots
buy
of
one
fans.
of those.
Lots of fans. If it's black, people buy the shit out of it. It doesn't matter how bad it looks. They love this hideous, just garish uniform shit.
Look at that. Look at it.
Fuck this jersey.
I
I hate
wanna
the
throw
fucking
the-
Jets. Man.
I want to throw the Lions gray alternates on there too.
Ryan Gray alts. I agree that those are pretty rough. I mean, we brought it up last week when I was watching the game.
Hey now.
Yesterday, right?
Hey now. Those gray alternate Lions jerseys are representative of their only win of the season.
Yeah, welcome to being the Cleveland Cavaliers, where you win in your ugliest look.
In a touchdown that had like probably the worst coverage I've seen in the NFL, but that's
Those Tampa Bay color rushes need some consideration too.
I know, because like that was the thing. I was trying to look through it. I'm like, did they have an alternate jersey during the alarm clock days? And this is the only one.
yeah.
I mean, and it was better than their main uniform set.
I think it doesn't have all the shoulder elements.
The thing about this picture that I find hilarious is that it inadvertently started a tradition whereby whenever the Rams and the Bucks play each other, they've seemingly committed to wearing their worst uniforms
Yeah,
against each other. Like,
what about the all pewter that they're wearing this season? Is that worse than that?
That's pretty bad. I would give I would say these are worse though, because at least the pewter uniforms have like readable numbers and just normal pant stripes. And
I think that the pewter jerseys over a pair of white pants would look okay. Wouldn't be great, but it'd be okay.
I think it's acceptable. I mean, it's fine.
Yeah.
The last one that I had on my list, again, staying away from throwbacks, Seattle Seahawks neon green 2012 present.
I went back and forth on that one because sometimes I like it, sometimes I'm like, oh God, just stop. So I will go whichever way you guys want to.
Look at that! Like that looks like it looks like Nickelodeon slime.
I mean, what about this? What about this variation of it though?
See, that's the one I actually like. Is that one?
Okay.
I feel like that. I'm not a big fan of that one either, but at least the navy pants break it up.
Hey, they were their navy over gray at home yesterday, and it looked really, or white over home yesterday, and it looked really good. I thought. Was it gray?
What?
I don't remember.
So are we not counting because this is the '94 Bears throwback 75th anniversary?
Yeah, I've got that on my list too, Andy. That one.
Is it? Does it not count? It's a throwback.
I guess not.
I mean,
Look, it's like I
opening
think
this thing. We can certainly go back and add new wings and new designations. Because I've got a couple of throwbacks, and they've got the Packers and the blue jerseys with the fucking gold circle on them.
I think that when I think the thing is though, like the jerseys that we're discussing here, like Atlanta's Gradient or the mustard, Jaguars, right? Like these are real uniforms made, by people presumably with who should know better, with experience in the field of design.
Right.
In the modern world, like that is to me very different than like these uniforms from like the 1920s where people just didn't even know what a football uniform was back then.
Right.
It's a different kind of thing.
I agree with that.
Okay,
now,
so
what about the Steelers Bumblebee uniforms? How do we classify those?
Also throwbacks, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
those are throwbacks.
Fucking things. I thought those were inspired by. Oh, yeah. You know what?
Oh, okay. The Titans.
who wants the line? But their shoulders are swords.
Their shoulders are swords. So the thing here is they wear all this stuff interchangeably. So technically, the alternate is the light blue.
Mhm.
But does that make it on its own?
I don't know. That's a pretty bad look.
It's a bad look. But is it worst of all time? Because here's the problem. Like as we're starting to run into, the worst looks of all these teams were either regular jerseys that they wore, or the throwbacks that we're not counting.
Let's disqualify the throwback looks for now because it's not fair. Because basically like it's
then we're going between all the Steelers bumblebees and the Denver Broncos vertical stripes and the Bears or whatever. Yeah.
I agree. Okay, so let's go ahead and make sort of a throwback designation of like we can have its own wing for that. We don't need to.
Right. We can revisit it later.
Yeah. So let's narrow down our top. So can we agree? Is this number one or is the Jags number one? Wherever the hell that is.
I'm going with the Falcons number one.
I would say the Falcons are number one.
Yeah, that gradient.
I must have just deleted the Jaguars one because I was so disgusted by it. Okay, so we got the 2020 Falcons gradient alt number one. The Jaguars mustard alt.
I'm good with that being number two.
Hold on. What about no, cancel?
There we go.
I remember these getting a lot of outrage when they came out. 49ers black.
Oh, wow, yeah. Simple, might be a little just too
okay.
That would be in the NFL black for blacks sakes.
Yeah, I think I mean
I think number two's got to be those Jags uniforms, right? I mean, with the helmet.
I agree. The Jags mustard alt number two, because they wore that a shitload too. They wore it a few times, and
we have to consider that as a representative for that helmet,
right? Exactly, which is just it's crazy. So all things of sports, that helmet is this abomination.
What about the Saints gold alternates 2002?
Well, let's see if I can find it.
They're not so bad, but
Saints wore gold alts. I don't remember that.
Yes, they did.
Yeah, for a little bit before they got good.
I don't remember what those look like.
I mean, they look exactly like you think they look.
That's the other problem with the NFL jerseys is that most of the time they're just color swaps for the alternates, right?
Oh, yeah, I don't think that's bad enough. Again, in the if we had a questionable move wing of the place, I'd be like, yeah, that was questionable, but not Hall of Fame worthy.
I mean, it breaks all the. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, sorry. I'm saying the other thing that I'm finding is that a lot of alternate quote unquote looks are just when they put in like a bad pair of pants.
Yeah. Like when
some people didn't like the Ravens golds,
right?
Or the Browns pants.
I'll tell you what, those Rams jerseys, going back to that picture of the Bucs, that look with a pair of white pants is like better than anything they're wearing right now. Anything. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah. So let's eliminate some. Tampa Bay all red. Yay or nay?
That's pretty bad.
It's bad, but I don't know if it's.
Yeah, it's better than their actual regular jerseys, and I don't know if that's good enough.
Yeah.
Jets black.
Ooh.
That's I'll be honest. I think Jets black is absolute dog shit.
Yeah, and you know what? If you want to throw in the body of work thing, what they left to become this, you got to. If you add that in, that's like, yeah, that's some pretty shitty ideas.
That's true. I think
is the Jets black any worse than some other teams' black alternates though?
Nah.
Like the 49ers.
See, those Patriots jerseys just look dirty. They don't look silver.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like I'm going to go ahead and denominate these because I feel like we need to make a decision. Because like these lime ones aren't they're bad, but I think they're also on brand with the Seahawks look.
Right, I agree.
Yeah.
The Lions, I think this one similarly, it's not a great look, but it's on brand with whatever the Lions are doing now.
It sucks.
It sucks, but the Lions' whole look right now sucks.
I think, you know what I mean? I think it is a top 3 bad NFL jersey this season, at the very least.
It's worth considering. It's shit, but I feel like the Lions their whole look is just garbage right now. So it's kind of, but at least it's not black and it's not like outside of the like range of colors that they use.
That's
Whereas like the black here and here, especially with the Jets, it's almost like they did the entire rebrand knowing they were going to have a black set.
And you know, an argument I'm going to make for the Jets over the Niners is that the Jets did this knowing it would be around a while. The Niners don't even use that thing anymore.
I think they used it like once.
Yeah. So the Niners weren't playing. The Niners wasn't part of a rebrand where the Jets were. Like they did that shit on purpose specifically to wear those. So I think they get the nod based on that.
I think it has to be the Jets. That's your number 3.
Jets. Yep.
Jets. Fuck.
What year? What year do they make these abominations? Like 2018 or something?
I think 18. I don't remember.
It's whenever their recent uniforms came into being. So I want to say 19.
Okay.
How do we feel? The one last one to throw in. Like, how do we feel about? Or I guess 2 because I just saw it. The Dolphins orange.
I put it the same lump as the Saints gold, to where it's like it's not great, but it was like they wore it on like a Thursday night football game or 2, and it's it was fine.
What about Baltimore? Not just the black jersey, but when they go black on black on black on black, where it's like the yoga pants.
Again, that's on brand for them.
Yeah, it's not an alternate really either, is it? Or
it is.
The regular jersey is a purple jersey. Yeah,
you're right.
But I mean, they're a very dark color centric team anyway. But like, if you look at like the Saints, where you have a gold helmet and black everything, that does, to me, it makes infinitely less sense than the Ravens, because it's to me, and this may be dumb, but it's like Ravens are black. They have black feathers and like a
black
kind of
everything, man.
Violet plumage.
Sure.
So I mean, it does, when I watch the Ravens wearing all black, I'm like, oh, that's the Ravens. That makes sense to me. But when the Saints, where it's like, hey, look how sweet our gold pants are and our gold helmet. Oh, we're gonna wear all black. Yeah. We're gonna smother our identity in black because reasons.
Right.
So I find that egregious. But it's not a hideous jersey. It's just a plain black jersey. But the Jets one, like you said, it was completely coordinated. Just a completely larcenous criminal decision.
I just want to know who the fuck looked at what they were wearing before and said, this is better. I'm not saying that the previous uniforms were the best uniforms in the NFL. I liked them a lot. And they had a history. Granted, it was just with Joe Namath the Super Bowl III, but that's a pretty big piece of NFL history. And they said, you know what? And we had these decent uniforms in the 80s with the green helmets and all that, but fuck them too. Let's go with this instead, because these look horrible, and I don't know who likes this shit. I just don't get it.
It was more than likely a group of people from ownership, a group of the players that gave their input, which I'm sure was just stunning and brilliant input from the players. They always make such good decisions when they're asked about uniform decisions. God damn, they should never be allowed to make any sort of decision regarding the uniforms, because they always have bad taste collectively.
Yep.
Anyway, yeah, terrible shit. So we will.
That is. The first class has been inaugurated. Look at that.
The inaugural class. Yeah. So we have the 2017 black Cavs sleeve uniforms, the 04 Mavs silver alts, the 1994 3/4 purple Kings unis for the NBA, Major League Baseball, the red vest for the Pirates, the black for Black's sake Royals alternate, and the scales alternate for the Diamondbacks. The NFL, we have the 2020 Falcons gradient, the Jaguars mustard alternate, and the Jets black for Black's sake. And the NHL, the Buffalo Sabres cape, the Thrashers red, and of course, the Smashville Winter Classic uniform.
We had a couple on there that were like it's like knockout no brainers. Smashville and Atlanta.
Well, speaking of NHL jerseys, did we even get a chance to talk about the New Jersey's New Jersey?
Well, see, here's the thing. Here's the thing about that.
Yeah, we talked about
that last week. Okay.
Here's the thing about that. That. The one of the Twitter responses I saw to the Smashville uniforms is, "We all owe the New Jersey Devils an apology."
Right?
Yeah.
By comparison, that jersey looks like a classic. It's like, wow, that's sharp, man, compared to Smashville.
Mhm.
That's how bad Smashville is. It's just unbelievable. I don't know how I say it every single time this happens. I'm like, how did this get past enough people to get approved and actually find its way to market like this? I don't get it.
That's the thing that is really crazy when you consider, like, and again, I guess if you go back and you give them the absolute benefit of the doubt that there was they had a vision, right? The concert poster look, right? But at a certain point in the process, someone should have had the wherewithal to go like, hey, it's not coming together, we need to change directions.
Do you think they just get in the room and they're so locked in on the concept that they just hype each other into a frenzy? Go, no, this is fucking working, man.
I think there's a lot to that. Yes.
Okay, because I just don't understand it. I think that you need to have some sort of, I don't know, a committee, a quality control group that says, yeah, I see what you're going for here. Even after they explain it, you go, all right, I get that. This isn't getting it. You got to go back to the drawing board. It should never get to the point where they're sewing shit together on something like that, I think. Yeah. It's just it amazes me every time it happens. I don't know how they do it, but here we are.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to not looking at shitty jerseys for a little while.
Well, we will, like I said, I will, Andy, if you send me all the stuff and some pictures, we can work together and we will put together an actual, I don't know, we'll figure out what to call it and all that, but we'll put it up so people can see.
Can we have when people log onto the site, can it have like a little recorder sound like? Oh,
I'm sure. We'll figure something out.
So LMU inquires about the O'Grady stuff. We got to hear that story because we kind of teased it last week. And didn't get
I know.
We
were going to talk about it when we were going to like kind of roll it into the USFL, new USFL stuff.
Oh, we forgot about the USFL. God damn it! All right, so should we table that for next week too? The USFL stuff.
I mean, yeah, we can bash O'Grady without doing the USFL. That's
well, okay. So how about this? How about this? We will come back to the USFL stuff like as a collective looking over the league in a week. But for the purposes of Tom O'Grady, basically what happened is that the USFL released all their logos for their 8 teams in their upcoming season that they're gonna do, and one of the teams is going to be the Michigan Panthers, and the logo for the Michigan Panthers is here we go. Here's a link for the Michigan Panthers logo.
It's an updated of their old logo. That's all it is.
It's got a kind of a skewed rectangle, and you've got the Michigan Panthers text, and then you got the Panther in it. It's whatever. Well, anyway, Tom O'Grady. I'm trying to find the logo he was specifically all hot and bothered about.
Was the Charlotte Bobcats?
Well, it was a specific Charlotte Bobcats one. Basically, I believe the Charlotte Bobcats were the last team that Tom O'Grady did uniform work for.
Yeah, we all saw that worked out.
And I'm trying to find it. It's an anniversary logo specifically.
Really? The mothership only has one anniversary logo.
Yeah, but basically the Bobcats did a special event logo. It was either an inaugural season or an anniversary logo, and it was it was the inaugural season. Okay, I found it. So if I can open engine tab. Okay, here we go. Here is the logo that Tom O'Grady says the Michigan Panthers ripped off.
Okay, let me pull it up here.
This guy is is he fucking
right?
So,
insofar as it's a parallelogram with a cat in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And my thing too, and you don't have to look it up, Andy, but anybody that's listening, and Dennis already knows this, but if you go back and look at the old Panthers logo, it's not, I mean, yeah, this is an updated version of it, but it is not that different from the original logo. And for Tom O'Grady to come along and say a logo I created, we do the math here, 21 years later, somehow was the inspiration for an updated Michigan Panthers logo. It's just the fucking height of just clueless arrogance. You know, and this guy, going all the way back to the logo cast, and just to give you an idea of what he was like, when we brought him on, we're talking before the show, and the guy goes, "This is going to be great. I'm going to be really good on this show." And it was said without a hint of irony or a hint of self-awareness. He said it like, this is you know, you guys are so fucking lucky to have me, because I'm going to just lay it down and you're all just going to be, you know, rolling in the aisles and just convulsing with joy over the shit that I'm going to bring you. And then that motherfucker proceeded to talk for 3 hours. I mean, it was unbelievable. And the ego on this guy. We did our rankings of NHL uniforms, I believe it was. And Ray Sox from the boards, Mike, we called him Florida Mike because there were two Mikes on the show, but Florida Mike had the audacity to not rank the Blackhawks number one. And Tom O'Grady fucking stalked him over that. Not just said, "Hey, I disagree with you," but like would just chase him around. I don't know if Twitter was a thing back then. I think it was. Like on Twitter, we had a like a chat thing set up for the logo cast, and every day O'Grady was in there just berating this kid. And keep in mind, Danger was like 18 years old at the time when this was going on. Tom O'Grady's a grown man like my age, and just the guy's a fucking asshole. I've never worked with anybody as out of control, as egomaniacal as this fucking tool. And it's like, and I look at his work and I go, you know what? The Suns jerseys are pretty good, and fuck you on the rest. This is the way I see it. So that's my bashing. Mike, I'm sure you've got some you could add to that.
Honestly, my interactions of Tom O'Grady have not been, I really haven't had that many direct interactions with him. The Tom O'Grady story that I have is, I don't even know if it's still around, but there was an attempt to do an American Football League in India.
Yeah.
And I think they lasted a few seasons. I don't know if they're still around or not, but Tom O'Grady designed all of the logos for this league. And this came up as a topic of discussion on the CCSLC. And he was posting it, and basically like, it's like, "Oh no, this is my work. This is great. Here's what went into each one." And I just gave my honest opinion on them. And the thing about it was, I didn't even say they were all bad. I thought some were okay. I thought some needed some work. I thought, you know, it was a mixed bag, but I gave my honest opinion on them. And again, I'm just some random guy on a message board, and he took my kind of just my opinions very poorly, because I did not say they're the greatest things ever.
Yeah.
And it was, and he's just a bitch. He's just a bitch who, you know, his heyday, from what I can tell, was in the 90s. He was behind a lot of the NBA redesign in the 90s. You know, a lot of that really goofy shit that really hasn't aged well, but there's kind of like a cult following for it. I will agree with you, Greg. To his credit, I do think those Suns uniforms are really, really cool. But everything else he did is just sort of like,
this is the equivalent of like some 80s band, like Dexy's Midnight Runners. You guys remember them? They did that song "Come On Eileen." I'm sure you've seen it or heard it.
Yeah, I know the song. Yeah,
it's a one hit. It's okay. So they did this one song that was pretty good, and they're still around today going, you know what? Fuck you guys. No one's ever written a song better than that. That's what he reminds me of. And he would come into the LogoCast chat room. I forget how he had it set up. I think it was on a blog or something somewhere. And he would say, "What do you guys think of this?" And we would say, "Well, this is what we think." "Well, you're not qualified to say that." It's like, why the fuck did you ask me that? You know, and he would go round and round about like, you three idiots are not qualified to make your opinions known on anything when it comes to uniforms or logo design or any of that. And I would say, I would always go to my old standby. I'm like, "Do you criticize TV shows?" "Yeah." I'm like, "Well, guess what? You don't fucking make them like I do, so you don't get to criticize those either." He was just such a monumental asshole. I can't even begin to describe it.
And now he's upset because the Michigan Panthers and the in the USFL revival dared to put a cat logo in a rhombus.
Yeah, right.
Just
like
just
that's
imagine.
a great. Sorry, Andy. I just got to get this out
That's okay.
before I forget.
Do it.
There was a great response to him on Twitter where this guy goes, I forget who it was. He goes, "Oh, so you made a shape that's been used a million times, and because you did it, now no one else is allowed to use it." Basically, it was really funny. I can't do it justice, but
it's kind of like when Candy Crush tried to copyright the word candy. You know, it's kind of like what it's like. No, you can't do that. That everyone candy is a ubiquitous term. It's like a cat shape, a cat's head facing a direction for a logo. That is not copyrightable. It is not. You can especially when it's so generically defined too. But it sounds like somebody stuck a microphone in front of a crazy person in this case.
Yeah.
But also, if he gets this upset and this maniacal about sports logos, I feel sorry for those who are actually in his life. You just imagine like somebody screws up an order at a fast food place or something. The guy probably threatens to burn the place down. And
he's got a real. I think it was McCarthy on the board said that he's got an undiagnosed condition. I believe that because this guy would get so defensive, and it wouldn't just be like, okay, you know what, you see it one way, I see it the other. And we've seen fights break out on the boards over dumb shit like sock stripes and stuff, but never anything at the level this guy will go to. He goes from like 0 to nuclear option over one bad comment. And it's like, it's not enough to just to go, I don't agree with your assessment of this, Tom. It's like, no. You're a fucking moron. You don't know anything. You have no right to critique this. You don't live in my world, blah, 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 blah. And then you go, okay, fine, fuck you. And that's that. Except then he doesn't stop. Then he'll start chasing you around.
Yeah.
Here's the tweet in question, by the way, if you want to put it up. That started all this up.
He's nuts.
The parallelogram of it gets into a different level of inspiration.
Inspiration in quotes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Here, let me put it up there.
Oh, my God.
Nothing about the shape of the cat is even close.
No.
Yeah.
No. It's.
It's literally just you have, like you said, a cat with a rhombus, but it's not the same cat and it's not the same rhombus. So
and not only is it not the same cat, not only is it not the same rhombus, the cat and the rhombus aren't even intersecting in the same way. So
it would take a truly deranged mind to look at the one on the left and think the one on the right came from it. I mean,
is that his Twitter feed, the Game Plan Creative?
Yes, yes, that's him.
Why is he got to be from Chicago? Why?
I've got reading material for the evening. Great.
Oh God! If you scroll down, he's got some pics of the sun shit because it's like the one good uniform he designed.
And I wish I promised in the thread on the boards that I would find the actual exchanges that we had with him on the LogoCast. I got to remember where we hosted all that stuff because I don't remember anymore.
Oh, and then he's got a whole thing about cat profiles. Okay, look at that.
But seriously, I think anybody that's interacted with him knows this. He's unbalanced, man. I mean,
guys, Tom O'Grady invented drawing a cat,
right, and drawing a box. I mean, it's just ridiculous. It's like he had success, and maybe he's one of those guys that. I mean, I know if I were a designer and I got the NBA in the 90s, I'd be like, man, I've hit the big time. Except he never did a fucking thing after that.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. He did the NBA in the 90s. The Bobcats were early 2000s, and that was the last NBA thing that he did. And so you have to ask, okay, if this guy designed all of these uniforms for the NBA in the 90s, why isn't he still working for the NBA today? And there's a good reason for that because it's a combination of his personality, and he probably, honestly, he just didn't evolve with the field.
There's a lot of.
Yeah. Oh, go ahead, Andy. Go ahead.
I say there's nothing less personal than uniform design. We can joke about it and be like, if you like this jersey, you're an idiot. And it's all about taste and stuff, but it's like at the end of the day, it's a hobby. So if this guy probably goes to bed seething, grinding his teeth over some of his opinions, and it's like, dude, it's a totally subjective field. Like,
imagine like going back to our helmet draft, where if we had like knockdown, drag out fights because say I chose the Oakland Invaders and you guys disagreed. And not only did I say I disagree with you, but then I started like tweeting you at all hours of the night, instant messaging you on the boards, like fuck you guys. I mean, that's the level this guy goes to. And I'll give you one more good example here. When we were doing the logo cast, we got a little tiny exclusive from the Emerald or the Eugene Emeralds, a single A baseball team in one of the out west A leagues. Okay, we got to debut their new jerseys and logos and all that. So this is a pretty big deal for us. So we do it. All right, we bring on the guy. I think his name was Eric DeVille. That was the guy for this. Anyway, he was the general manager of the team. We had him on, interviewed him. It was a really good show. We had a great time. Got to unveil the logo and all that. Tom O'Grady, after the GM of the Emeralds, gave his Twitter address and his email address. Like, if you've got any comments about the team or whatever, we'd love to hear from you. Tom O'Grady started bombarding this guy with like concepts that he thought were better than what the team had just debuted. And I mean, it wasn't like one here, one there. It was like 15, 20 a day. Like, he would send out a tweet or was it a tweet or an email? I don't remember what. He would send it out and it would have 15 concepts in it going, these are all better and these are what you should have used. I mean, that's the fucking nerve this guy had. And like, he would not stop. He was relentless. And it's just, he's insane. I mean, and you know what, Tom, if you're listening, first off, you're fucking insane. And secondly, sue him, asshole. I don't care. I will prove it. I've got the receipts, dude. But yeah, he's out of his fucking mind. So anyway, that's I hope that's enough, Dennis, because I've about run out of stories here.
So just to clarify, so next week we're actually gonna get into the new USFL, the new old USFL, whatever. Let's very quickly get NFL picks because we didn't get our picks in for this week.
I'm gonna let you guys pick my game, and then I'll just go the opposite way.
I do want to point out that with the USFL coming back, the Oakland Invaders are not among that list. So what does that tell us, Greg?
Yeah, that their helmets were too good for this. Their helmets were too good for this world. That's what it tells us. Their helmets and their look too good for this world.
So we're Greg, pick 1 through 4, please. We'll get you done.
3.
All right, you are picking Ravens and Browns.
Oh, for fuck's sake! I don't know. Does anybody know? Are they going to roll out what's left of Baker Mayfield again next week, or is Case Keenum finally the quarterback? Anybody know?
No idea.
I would think still
Ravens, because they're the Browns and fuck them.
Okay.
I should get a mulligan. I should get a do-over. Somebody else. Go
All
ahead.
right. Somebody pick 1 through 3 for me, please.
3.
3. Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'll be picking the Bills at the Bucks. I don't like having to pick this game.
Ooh, that's a tough one.
I will take the Buccaneers because it's in Tampa. Okay. So it would be Zach next. Zach, 1 or 2?
2.
Okay. You are picking the Dallas Cowboys at the 32s.
Oh, Cowboys.
Okay. Mike, 49ers at Bengals.
Oh, rematch of Super Bowl 16.
Mike, hello, Mike. Did we lose Mike? Hey.
Hello?
Hey, 49ers at Bengals. We need your pick.
You guys cut out entirely. I did not hear what game I'm picking.
Yeah, 49ers at the Bengals.
Okay. 49ers Bengals. Ooh, that's tough. But I'm gonna go.
Okay. All right.
I'm gonna go with the Bengals.
Okay, picks are in for next week. Mike is if the who's playing tonight? If the Bulls win tonight, Mike will remain ahead. He's currently 10-2, but Zach is right there with him at 8-5. Greg and I are bringing up the rear. So
yeah, I just to the listeners, if I pick a game, go the other way. If you're going to bet on it, you'll be all right. I think.
All right, we'll prepare for the USFL next week.
Yeah, USFL next
Sounds
week.
good.
And just we talked about it a little before the show, but there's like just some major snowstorm happening in Buffalo tonight, so that's going to make that game interesting. The Pats and the Bills.
Yep, gonna throw it on. See how it goes.
fucking Buffalo. What the? I don't know why people live there. I just don't. The weather there is horrific.
Somebody's got to break those tables. You know.
Yeah, right. Anyway, so we done? Is that it?
That's all I
That's
got.
it.
I think I'm good.
We will work behind the scenes to come up with a way to present our actual Hall of whatever we're calling it, and that might be kind of fun. So, on that note, we'll call it a night. We'll see you all next week. Follow us on Twitter at Basically Sports. Subscribe via Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, YouTube, and wherever fine podcasting is sold. We'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Adios.